This line from the Transformers theme song perfectly sums up what these robots in disguise are all about. Fans now might think of the live-action movies and Optimus Prime speeches that would make you do anything by how amazing they were.
There's more to them than meets the eye.
But now we are getting Transformers 1, which is an upcoming animated film that will explore the origin story of Cybertron and the relationship between Optimus Prime and Megatron. So here's everything you need to know about Transformers 1, and stick around until the end of the video to find out who will be returning to the franchise that could make the live-action movie fans excited. Hello citizens, my name is The Hero, and Transformers has always been a big passion of mine growing up. Like literally growing up with the Michael Bay live action movies, like I don't think I've ever seen something that spoke to me more. And discovering my first female crush of all time in Megan Fox. I mean, I feel like every man nowadays feels that way. So when I heard about Transformers 1 being developed and coming out, and it was an animation, oh man, you know The Hero was excited and I had to talk about it. So alongside the live-action Transformers movie series, the animated Transformers 1 will expand the franchise, telling the origin story of Cybertron and the relationship between Optimus Prime and his nemesis Megatron. And this is always super interesting to think about because everyone loves an origin story. And I'm sure there's people out there that are like, oh, I'm so tired of origin stories and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is they work. It's a thing. It's in Hollywood for a reason because they work. And finding out how a character from its beginning origins, how they develop to become the characters we see in the later films, I'm not going to complain about no origin story. Transformers 1 was initially announced back in 2015. From everything that's been revealed so far, Transformers 1 will have a very different feel compared to the other entries in the franchise. Although Transformers 1 is still upcoming, there are plenty of details about the film that have been released due to on-set scoops and official announcements. Most of the story is being kept tightly under wraps, but it seems to be strongly taking inspiration from the original story that was laid out in previous television and comic adaptations. And this has to be super exciting for Transformers fans like myself and you, because the thing is if you followed the comics growing up or you watch like the animated series and you just get so excited about this is going to be very, very, very modeling after those types of media. You know, when movies tend to follow a different media to a T, it's almost like perfect for fans, right? So this has got me excited. Transformers 1 is chronologically the first of the Transformers animated movie series they are starting. So there's lots of pressure to deliver an exciting origin story for these beloved characters that have lasted so many years. And it's quite literally a franchise that has been able to last so many years because like a lot of franchises grow, and then they kind of just die off. But Transformers has lasted for a long time and, you know, thanks to the live action movies, probably helped a whole generation discover Transformers, but either way, they've been around for a while. Originally a shape-shifting toy line from Hasbro in the 1980s, Transformers developed its own film franchise. Before the live-action film series, there was The Transformers, a television series that began in 1984. This inspired the animated movie, The Transformers: The Movie. Wow, such a creative title. Created in 1986. This means it has been almost 40 years since the last animated Transformers film was released. That means that the upcoming animated movie will provide a feeling of nostalgia for people who saw the original animated film as kids. And I don't know what it is here lately, but nostalgia in Hollywood here lately has been working. If they do it right? Because we've had some instances of them like totally screwing it up. But nostalgia speaks to lifelong fans and introduces new young fans to a whole series of a franchise that they might have not even known about. So I'm always here for that. But first, we need to know what the plot of the movie is going to be about so that we are all prepared. Well, we are returning to where it all began on Cybertron, the planet where the Transformers hail from. Our main characters include the famous Optimus Prime and Megatron, who begin as friends in this movie. Audiences can see what happened to these characters and how they become enemies. This movie will also explain how the Autobots and Decepticons began their war, and the hopes from the creators is that they want a trilogy with this new animated Transformers movie. That's right, the creators have come out and said they want a trilogy for this movie. This means we're not only getting this first one, but if it does well, 2 more movies. Which, if you're speaking to any Transformer person, I mean, more Transformers the better, right? Especially animation, because I love animation so much. It's my favorite genre of media from filmmaking. So when can we expect to see this movie movie hit theaters, right? That's the main question we probably are all asking ourselves. Well, Transformers 1 is still in production, and Paramount Pictures recently pushed back the release. Its original release date was in July of 2024, but is now set to roll out. See what I did there? Transformers joke. On September 13th, 2024. The reasons behind this change aren't totally clear, but the multiple delays to the preceding Transformers Rise of the Beast probably had some kind of collateral effect on the series. I mean, literally, that movie had so much CGI. I mean, live action CGI is hard to do, so I'm sure the delays and the amount of CGI was not expected, which probably ran into production delays for Transformers 1. But have no fear, when Transformers 1 does come out, it will come out with a bang on the big screen. With the film being released later this year, a trailer will be released soon, I'm pretty sure. I am looking forward to the new animated style of the Transformers though. Like, are they gonna go with a more classical CG look, like Pixar, or are they gonna go with this new animation style like, you know, Into the Spider-Verse? Me personally, I would like to go with the latter because I feel like a Into the Spider-Verse animation style would fit a Transformer movie very, very well. Like a cyberpunky type of, you know, glitchy type of animation really would fit. So I'm hoping they choose a more creative route when it comes to the animation style of the movie. I mean, it would still work if they went more with an Invincible, you know, X-Men 97 type of style, which looks very good in my opinion. They do the works justice, they still fit, the animation styles are dope, but I feel like Transformers just really, really fits this type of look from Spider-Verse. So please, if you're listening, Transformers 1 people, I know you're in development, but please, we're asking you, please, give us it. It's going to be beautiful. But with any animated movie, we are going to need a good voice cast. As you probably hear me talk about in almost every movie ever, because I'm always talking about this. Literally, you can't have a good animation without good voices, okay? So who will be our cast in Transformers 1? Well, Transformers 1 is made up of a star-studded cast, making it all the more appealing to audiences. With the film being animated, this allowed creators to recast some roles. Dun dun dun! Literally, it's kind of scary because you got a perfect voice like Peter Cullen for Optimus Prime. It gets kind of iffy on who's gonna play him. Chris Hemsworth enters the scene as Optimus Prime. Don't know how I feel about this one. I'm sure you can do him justice. I mean, he played Thor. That's a very, you know, heroic, godlike character, much like Optimus Prime. I just don't see the voice, but we'll have to see. I can't judge too harshly before I see the movie. So I think Chris Hemsworth has the chops, but it's going to feel weird. It's going to feel weird. I'm just telling you, it's probably feeling weird hearing this right now if you're a Transformers fan. But starring alongside Hemsworth is Scarlett Johansson as Alita, a fellow member of the Autobots. And as we know, these two have already worked together in the MCU as Thor and Black Widow, so they probably have some good chemistry, which would be really cool to see in this animation. Fellow Autobots include Keegan-Michael Key as Bumblebee, who has released that he's putting all of himself into the role, meaning it could be that Transformers 1 is looking for a more naturalistic approach to its Autobots, which just means that they are looking for more of the characters that and the actors they cast to actually bring themselves into the characters, which would be neat to see instead of having this cliche style of what they sound like. There is a drawback and a downside to this, as we fans know, of just being able to know and picture what, you know, Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and all these sound like. So it is going to be weird to see Key as Bumblebee, but I'm also here for it because Bumblebee's a funny dude, Key's a funny dude. It might fit. Lawrence Fishburne will play as Alpha Trion, who is one of the oldest Autobots and among the most popular characters from the Transformers show, and John Hamm as Sentinel Prime, which I think both of those are great picks. I mean, literally, their voices just fit an animated robot. I'm just saying. On the villainous side, however, we have Brian Tyree Henry coming off the success of the Godzilla x Kong movie and the Spider-Verse series as Miles Morales' dad, will be playing the role of a younger Megatron. And this one was a very interesting one because I love Brian Tyree Henry. He has a great voice for animation. He's a funny guy. I just never really pictured him playing a villain of all things in a Transformer movie. And the big baddie villain, much less. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he plays and brings this character to life in his own way. I think he's got the chops for it. And yeah, I don't know. I'm very excited. It's a very weird lineup is all I'm going to say. I'm sure you guys are feeling the same way. And of course, in the coming months, we might see more characters added to the cast and more, you know, different things being developed around this movie. So I'm very excited to see what we see. Now, the moment I and probably you have been waiting for. Who will be our creative team behind Transformers 1? Who could we see return to the Transformers franchise? Well, fans, I have some good news for you. Any project involving the legendary filmmaker Steven Spielberg automatically gives it legitimacy and credibility. And in the case of Transformers, Spielberg has been on the team as an executive producer since the first film. Well, he will continue this role for Transformers 1, which I am beyond excited for. Literally, if you guys don't know anything about me, Steven Spielberg is my favorite director of all time. Everything he touches is literally good, in my opinion. And like, I'm easily entertained as well, but like everything he touches is my favorite all-time movies. Like literally, I think in my top 4 movies or 5 movies of all time is like 3 of them, or yeah, 3 of them are like literally Spielberg movies. So this has got me excited that he's coming back for an animation, no less, which makes me so excited because when this man touches anything, especially animation, it's beautiful. So I'm super excited for that. But Spielberg's team will also include Brian Goldner from Battleship, Brian Oliver from Black Swan, Bradley J. Fisher from Zodiac, and Valerie Ann from Coming to America. A pretty decent lineup if you ask me. The film will be directed by Josh Cooley, who previously worked on Toy Story 4 and some other smaller Pixar projects, where he has also done voice acting and writing for these projects, which got me excited because at first I was very skeptical as a Disney fan, loving, Toy Story 4 when it was coming out, and I thought we didn't need it. And the argument is that we don't need a Toy Story 5, but when Toy Story 4 came out, it was really good, and I enjoyed it. And so I feel like the same way with Toy Story 5. I feel like it's going to be needed, and we're going to love it even more. So I do think that Josh Cooley has the chops to do this Transformers, because he's already worked on like a legacy project before in Toy Story, that he can bring that same expertise and stuff over into a Transformer franchise. Transformers 1 is written by Andrew Barrer and Gabriel Fiari, who had previously worked together, with their biggest success being Ant-Man and the Wasp. Additional writers include Steve Desmond and Michael Sherman, who had worked on short films together such as Monsters and the feature film Knock at the Cabin. So we got some pretty big talent in the creative side of this Transformers 1 movie, which has got me super stoked and super excited. But I got even more good news for you. Steven Spielberg isn't the only familiar face returning to the franchise for this movie. Michael Bay, director of the earlier live-action movies, is returning as a producer. Ooh! Yes, I am so stoked for this, man. Michael Bay, freaking Steven Spielberg back in action. Let's go. Let's go, dude. The duo of the century, baby. We're about to have good stories, good animation, and big explosions. His other fellow producers will be Mark Varandian, I don't know how you say his name, Aaron Dem from How to Train Your Dragon 2, Tom DeSanto from X-Men, Don Murphy from Hell, and Lorenzo D. Let me say that again. Lorenzo D. Bonaventura. I hope I said it right. I can't speak, guys. Who comes back from the original Transformers movie. The animation studio working on the film is Industrial Light and Magic, who also created the Transformers film Bumblebee, which is super exciting and super interesting that this big CGI company is also going to be working on the animation. So I'm hoping it's not CG. Let's hope and pray. Cross our fingers, guys. But overall, all this sounds freaking amazing. It's got me super excited, super stoked for this movie, and I don't know what else to say. I'm very excited for this. And I just want to know, are you excited? Who is your favorite Transformer? Leave a like on the video and a comment below letting me know. That rhymed. Subscribe and check out this video right here because it's more of me. And if you enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy this one as well. I'll see you over there. Bye-bye.